Our planet in danger. Welcome everyone to our school podcast. Today we are excited to talk about one of the most important issues of our time, climate change and the future of our planet. We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new that inspires you to take action. Introduction to the topic. Welcome to a new episode of Our Planet in Danger. Today we dive deeply into one of the most urgent and complex challenges humanity has ever faced: global warming and climate change. This isn't just a scientific issue. It is social, economic, political, ethical, and global. Climate change influences the food we grow, the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the ecosystem that sustain life. Our goal today is to explore its cause, impacts, scientific evidence, and potential solutions. We want listeners to understand why climate change affects everyone and why urgent action is necessary. This episode is also intended to help people realize how interconnected our world is. A drought in one country affects food prices worldwide. A flood in one region disrupts supply chains across continents. Climate change is no longer a distant threat, it's part of our daily reality.
Exactly. Climate change has become a global crisis that reaches every part of society. It affects weather patterns, the stability of nations, human health, biodiversity, and the economy. Many people think that climate change is only about hotter temperatures, but the truth is far more complex. Rising sea levels, melting glaciers, droughts, hurricanes, floods, species extinctions, and resource storage are all connected. Today, we will break down these complex issues in detail so listeners can understand the enormous impact of even tiny temperature increases. Climate change is not an isolated phenomenon. It is a chain reaction with global consequences. Let's begin.
Explaining global warming. Global warming is the long-term rise in Earth's average surface temperatures caused primarily by human activity. Since the late 19th century, Earth has warmed approximately 1.2 Celsius. It may seem like a small number, but even a 1 degree increase can transform entire ecosystems, change weather patterns, and push species to extinction. Historically, the difference between an ice age and today's climate is only about 5 Celsius. Every fraction of a degree matters because the climate system is extremely sensitive.
Earth naturally cycles through warm and cool periods, but the rapid warming we see today is not natural. Scientists study ice cores, sediment, and tree rings and know that today's carbon dioxide levels are the highest in 800,000 years. The speed of modern warming matches only one cause: human activities. Fossil fuel burning, industrial production, deforestation, and agriculture have drastically changed the chemical composition of the atmosphere. Natural cycles cannot explain the rapid acceleration of warming.
Greenhouse effect and cause of climate change. The greenhouse effect is essential for life. Without it, Earth would be a frozen planet, but humans have increased greenhouse gases too much, trapping excess heat, like adding more and more layers of blankets. The energy that would normally escape into space is now staying in the atmosphere, raising global temperatures.
Carbon dioxide mainly comes from burning coal, oil, and gas. Methane comes from livestock, agriculture, landfills, rice paddies, and leaks in gas infrastructure. Nitrous dioxide comes from fertilizers, vehicle emissions, and industrial activities. Fluorinated gases come from refrigeration, cooling systems, and manufacturing. These gases can remain in the atmosphere for decades or even centuries, accumulating and intensifying global warming.
Real-world impacts. The last 8 years have been the hottest ever recorded. Heat waves now last longer, reach higher temperatures and affect more regions. These extreme events increase energy consumption, damage agriculture, and threaten millions of lives. Many cities now experience record temperatures every summer. Scientists warn that heat waves will become more frequent and severe unless emissions decrease dramatically.
Glaciers in the Himalayas, Andes, Alps, and Antarctica are shrinking rapidly. Greenland loses billions of tons of ice each year. This melting contributes to sea level rise and reduces freshwater supplies. The Arctic Ocean may experience ice-free summers within decades, which will drastically impact ecosystems, weather patterns, and indigenous communities who depend on ice for survival.
Sea levels have risen roughly 20 centimeters and 1,900 and could rise up to a meter by 2,100. This threatens coastal communities and major cities like Miami, Shanghai, Jakarta, and New York. Rising sea levels cause increased flooding, coastal erosion, and saltwater contamination of drinking water sources. Extreme weather and nature's collapse.
Droughts are becoming more common and severe. Regions like Africa, Mexico, the Middle East, and parts of the Americas are facing prolonged dry periods. This affects agriculture, drinking water supplies, and hydroelectric power. Droughts also increase wildfire risk, leading to massive forest losses and billions in damage.
Warmer oceans create more powerful storms. Hurricanes now bring heavier rainfall, higher winds, and more destructive storm surges. Coastal communities face huge economic and social challenges as storms become stronger and more unpredictable. Climate change increases respiratory diseases, heat-related illnesses, and mosquito-borne diseases. Heat waves kill thousands every year. Air pollution from fossil fuels contributes to asthma, heart disease, strokes, and premature death. Rising temperatures also affect mental health, causing stress, anxiety, and climate-related trauma.
Climate change affects poor communities the most. Wealthier nations produce most emissions, but developing countries suffer the worst impacts. Many communities lack resources to recover from natural disasters. Climate change deepens global inequality and threatens social stability.
Governments must transition to renewable energy, enforce environmental laws, protect forests, and support sustainable agriculture. They must also create policies that encourage electric transportation, reduce fossil fuel dependence, and support vulnerable communities.
Companies must reduce emissions, use renewable energy, and design sustainable products. They must also avoid greenwashing by reporting real data and making measurable progress. Corporations have enormous influence and must take climate leadership seriously.
Individuals can reduce energy consumption, recycle, eat more plant-based foods, and choose sustainable products. Voting for leaders who take climate action seriously is one of the most powerful actions individuals can take. New subtopics.
Climate disasters force millions of people to leave their homes. Rising sea levels, droughts, floods, and heat make entire regions uninhabitable. Climate migrants often lose everything and face discrimination, poverty, and instability. The world must prepare for hundreds of millions of climate refugees in the coming decades. Extreme weather disrupts crop growth, reduces soil fertility, and increases pest outbreaks. Heat reduces crop yields, especially wheat, corn, and rice. Fisheries collapse as ocean warms and acidify. food storage, increased prices, hunger, and global instability.
New technologies can help fight climate change. Carbon capture, renewable energy, drought-resistant crops, electric transportation, and energy-efficient buildings. Innovation is essential, but technology must be combined with the strong policies and behavior change. Global cooperation.
Climate change is a global challenge. No country can solve it alone. International agreements like the Paris Agreement are essential for reducing emissions, protecting ecosystems, and supporting developing nations. Collaboration between governments, scientists, businesses, and communities is the only way forward.
If humanity acts now, we can slow global warming and protect ecosystems. If we delay, we face extreme heat waves, food shortage, mass migration, and irreversible environmental damage. The window for action is small but still open. Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope this episode helped you understand how important it is to take care of our planet. Remember, even a small action can make a big difference. Together, we can create a cleaner, safer, and healthier future. See you next time.